sunny winter. So it has a good little jingle to it. Actually, and the line is taken from Faulkner, but Faulkner's Intruder in the Dust, but other than that, there's no relation. So I just saw the word, I saw the phrase, and I thought, it'd be a cool title. And so, here we go. The known familiar sunny winter. A warm winter day it was, resting alongside the guardrail splinters, feasting on teeth particles, he could not move. Jagged pieces of enamel elegantly sliced red rivers into his palate, while shards of tinted glass had carved signatures into his smooth-shaven cheeks. Today was his wedding day. A parade. Bridesmaids, family, condom jokes, and boutonnieres all awaited his attendance at the Travis Avenue Baptist Church. They would seek out Paris's Eiffel Tower, and then they would move on to Venice. There, they planned to caress the waters running under the bridge's sides, passing the city in a gondola. But the auspicious clouds of white taffeta would soon be obstructed by a barrier of dirt. Trent did spend his life in harmony with the times. The dependability of a well-to-do auto insurance, a high mid-class family status, college promises as bright as the morning star, the socials, and now, the woman of his dreams. All of which had previously eased his mind that life had ushered these divine patterns unto himself, like Cupidons serving up a roast feast. But now, his wavy strands of brown hair dangled helplessly along the clefts of his forehead as his body leaned against an unstable guardrail on a grassy knoll right off the intersection of 820 and I-30. Slashes lined Trent's tuxedo jacket like orchid petals on an aisleway, and for some ungodly reason, his groomsmen slacks hugged a thick, syrupy fluid that coated his thighs like spilled barbecue sauce. Trent's eyes were glancing down on the highway as the cars moved indifferently toward their destinations. The wedding gift watch in his chest pocket read 4:05. The ceremony was beginning at 4:30. But behind Trent lay the rubble of his life, the security of a minor glitch. The anticipated union with his wife had filled in the poke. Yet, on this odd day in January, a blanket of storm clouds were gathering in the west as the sun's rays were beating their last against his coruscant blood that had stretched itself out across the white lines of the asphalt. Fragments of Trent's 2006 Hummer rested aloft in a scattered heap as God's tears took the form of rain. The seatbelt stretched across the roof shoulder, torn from the vehicle, despite the numerous flashes of conscience to strap it on. And as Trent made a chafing turn with his head to view the wreck that holds him to the hill, his neck stretched to its last bled tendon, splitting like a stretched piece of taffy. Despite the shock that followed the loss of his ability to command his lower limbs, Trent could survey his shattered rearview mirror, his shredded hood protruding with jagged metal strips, and a spiderweb windshield with a hole equaling the circumference of a 45-pound weight plate formed on the driver's side glass. A hole which had not yet burrowed into the heart of his fiancée. Unaware, she danced away to the rhythm of the church bell chimes and bathed in the exuberant faces of the wedding guests surrounding her. Her love was on his way, and she rejoiced with the heart of a maiden receiving a prize knight. Trent's body sat prostrate against the rail, and his thoughts were escaping him like embers of spent coal. Oh, Venice, where is thy sting? Light rolls of thunder bellowed a couple miles off as Trent, after enduring a fit of convulsions, spotted his own foot, embossed on the highway by the sunlight, and still in its dress shoe, as an 18-wheeler passed over as if it were a dog's rotting carcass. And where he sat, he began to imagine, would be a sprouting cross laureled with white roses which would environ his memory, a just substitute for the sublime life that had awaited him. A life filled with the curling flow of her dark hair dangling at his chin, and their children gathering round his lap to hear his stories. Trey, with daddy's cheeks smiling up into his brown eyes, and there, curious Lacey resting her nimble elbow on his shoulder, with her mother's brooding dark hair streaming down to her sides. These children, his, spilled from his veins and onto the dead grass that lay next to him.